All right.
I didn't think about it until just this session, but much like Slippy, I was not surprised. I was like, who is it just gonna be some random person? I was like, who else would be here? And then I was like, oh, you know what would make Slippy really mad? And be the be the funniest possible guest.
Yeah, I've thought about this guest for a long time. At the beginning, it was Carissa was on the plate, but he's not super stoked about it either. Is it because she didn't try your Cariss sour? Is it because she did try the Mr. Bloody Mary? Oh, she's Slippy's antagonist or whatever. I don't know how mean she's been to Slippy so far. Whoa. Wait a second. Do these need to be swapped? Yeah. Yeah. All right. I apologize, actually. While you were describing your cool chitin and what you look like, Gabe, I was listening to the recording not working, so I don't think it picked it up anyway. So do you want to describe what you're wearing again? Or what you know. Yes, yeah. I mean, just so I can put it on I have it on recording, I can just like slot it in there and cut around it. I am. Yeah, we're streaming.
Just a quick recap because apparently the recording was not picking it up. Cookie's Cookie's outfit is I imagine Cookie to be sort of greenish, somewhere between like emerald and jade green, and she's got sort of a like a two-piece sort of crop top dress skirt that blends in with that chitin while still sort of accentuating her insectoid feminine physique or whatever. She looks good. She looks good in this outfit, is what I'm saying.
My face is not matching how interested I am, but I am interested in this.
It sure is not, but that's okay.
I realized that when I looked at my camera.
Hey, Daphne. Yeah, that's what Cookie's wearing. She's I'm not sure why this is this decision that she's made, but she's dressed to the nines for this night, despite just being the mobile bartender, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. I like that. BBW, you're wearing like a bow tie, you said, and Carl is wearing a long tie, I think. Just
I
a
think
tie.
it's also a bow tie.
Also a bow tie. Okay, and then what are you? You're wearing the rented tux, right?
Yep, I've got an ill-fitting rented tux.
Ill-fitting rented tux. Perfect. Yeah, great. Once Lily comes back, we will
excuse me.
Continue. Yeah. My computer is trying desperately to update to Windows 11, and I am trying desperately to keep it from doing so.
Relatable content.
My computer wants to do it so fucking badly.
How many times do I have to tell you no?
Mm-hmm. That was actually, I think, that reset too. It reminded me when I hit reset. It was like, and you're ready? I'm like, no, I'm not ready.
That's not what this means.
Dog on camera. Dog on camera.
Bro, so That's a puppy and a half.
Uh,
Good puppy.
Oh man, I hope none of that got dropped. None of the important bits. It does keep zooming in and out, which is interesting.
for dramatic effect.
So
The classic camera technique where you zoom in and out for classic effect.
you folks are dressed to the 9s or 8s in some cases and reconvene with Blood and Carissa. Blood is wearing a extremely similar white suit to the first white suit he was wearing, except the blood spots are on the other side now. Carissa is wearing a sequenced ball gown, with heels high enough to keep it up off the ground entirely. And you folks head down to the lobby. Mr. Blood has a car waiting. Is a big enough car for it is a big enough car for all of you to get into. Does everyone get into the same car?
Okay. Yeah.
Slippy is definitely gonna
Yeah.
get in. Slippy needs to be right hand bodyguard.
Okay, we're all gonna ride in.
Get in.
Okay, we all ride in the vehicle on the way to the Grand Casino. About 30 minutes later, you folks pull up to the Grand Casino. When you do, there are two rows of these midnight bellhops all standing alongside a red carpet stretching down the stairs and rolled out to where the car pulls up to. And
I open the door for everybody.
nice. Mr. Blood steps out and the party walks down the red carpet and into the Grand Casino. There are all of the patrons currently of the Grand Casino are standing around the balcony overlooking Mr. Blood as he comes in. They too are dressed to the 9s. Most of them, they have champagne is like being poured by midnight bellhops as he enters, and he just sort of waves as he goes, and Carissa dead set forward as they go down the red carpet and towards the elevator in the back of the room.
Flippy's going to use his walkie-talkie to talk to BBW. Slippy's going to say, "Hey, BBW, use your mechanics to scan for silver robots in the crowd, maybe. Also, I bought those shoes." And he's pointing to Carissa's shoes in front of him.
I believe you. The shoes definitely look like you would buy them. I'm gonna use
Over.
the mechanics when we get there. Under.
Yeah, what's your mechanic? Or what's your spell? It's electromagnetic detection or whatever.
Oh yes. I'm gonna roll d20. We're gonna find his voice.
Don't roll a d20, roll 2d6.
That was I was gonna roll in.
Oh,
roll 20.
in roll 20. Okay.
Yeah. That's an 11.
Ooh, okay, so what does electromagnetic detection do on an 11 or 10 plus?
So on 10 plus, you know if there are any machines in sights or hidden nearby and where they are.
Tell me
So
about all the
I'm-
machines.
With the
Oh, I
crowd, you your electromagnetic detection is pinging off the charts. There's robots all within the crowd. They're everywhere. There's cameras up in the corners of the room watching you. There are
Zero in on the signal that we detected at the other place, the silver robot signal.
Sure, many people are partially synthetic.
I'm getting something. Shoot. I mean, Slippy.
Well, what I'll say is that while you do not, you're like, there's so much going on here in the lobby of this hotel. Like, even if it's not the things I've already mentioned, you have like, there are microphones, there are cameras, there are like lights and tons of electricity running through this place. You're like being sort of kind of bombarded, but I will say that you do pick up a ping on your signal that is the same. Because there's so much in here, I know that like the disconnected reconnecting. Why the fuck are you doing that?
OBS?
Yeah, it is OBS.
I haven't had that, but mine has just straight up started crashing and not without a warning, nothing, just it crashes and stops the stream.
Let me think on my
OBS is doing
feet
great lately.
really quick. This is an OBS connection issue. If that is the case, resetting the internet, my internet sometimes would help, but that would take like 15 minutes and I'd have to start over again. I could hit stop and record, but I'd have to get the hard drive because my computer will not be able to hold that whole recording. Let me do that. I'll be right back.
You could do a fresh install of OBS to make sure it's not an issue. Not tonight. I mean, like if it continues to not work.
Yeah, I think that is an idea. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go at least grab the hard drive, so if I notice it really stopping, I can just hit record.
How unfortunate his stream may not work.
Hey, I'm just glad my hunk of junk isn't what was holding us back tonight.
Yeah, true.
Oh man, it's like my computer heard me say like this is gonna be a good episode, and then was like, nah.
Gotcha, bitch.
So for now, I'm gonna leave it just because it seems to be going fine. But if it does it, I'll just hit stop streaming and then start recording. Get this plugged in so that it can record. Fuck, I keep getting distracted by that. I'm sorry.
You good?
Gotta pick up all this virtual camera output. No. Gotta change my settings real quick. File settings.
I'm not even streaming this, so it's all your podcast and your stream. So worry about your shit.
Okay, sweet. Then I will do just that for a second. Output. Recording. Okay, well, we're just gonna try for now and see what happens. Okay. Yes, so you do in that crowd, you get a sense of tons of robots, tons of sentient robots, tons of cameras, microphones, lights, etc. But you do get just a hint of that ping from the same sort of silvered face-plated robot. I will say that even with the 11, you can't like point to them in the crowd, but
there's a lot happening, but it's definitely here. Well,
oh God, everyone! Just so we're all aware, the silver robot is here.
Did you say you have a bad feeling about this?
I would say that I have a bad feeling about this.
And here I go, rolling
Having that bad
2
feeling about
dice.
this.
It's a
Just felt like a
9.
bad feeling kind of fight.
What else is hidden here?
I'll say with that, with Slippy being on the lookout for it and BBW knowing that it has pointed it out, I think that you're able to. No, Daphne, I don't think so. You cannot lay back here. No. It is a blanket. I know that you want something soft. You can also go lay upstairs, where it's soft. With those two things together, BBW saying that, I got the ping of the silver face-plated robot. Slippy, you are scanning the crowd, and for just a second, you see that faceplate flash behind someone on a balcony up to your right. In and gone.
I just saw him. He's definitely here. Be on guard, everybody. Perhaps maybe 2 of us could split off and go have some looks around because we know where Mr. Blood's gonna be. In his
Wouldn't mind
little
splitting off to
his little room.
scout.
Mr. Blood. Mr.
I
Blood
think it would
says,
be
and
you and BBW because Cookie is needed to make drinks,
Yeah.
and I'm needed to, Carissa.
Uh-huh.
I like that. Carl and BBW split off to look through the crowd, and Cookie and Slippy remain with Mr. Blood. As you folks actually start to split off, Mr. Blood says, well, now where are you folks headed? We're headed on up to the blood box here.
Of course, Mr. Blood. The team is going to make a quick sweep of the surroundings, and then they're going to meet us at the box.
Ah, yes, you gotta
Typical
stay.
bodyguard type shit,
Maximum safety.
I mean stuff.
You're at work.
How are you about cursing?
Do you
like it or not?
I use the occasional curse word myself.
Sounds fucking good.
Oh. Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I mean, I'm not.
Marissa rolls her eyes. And
Never mind.
I'm.
Oh shoot. And Carl and BBW, you split off as they reach the elevator and get into the elevator.
Bless
Cookie,
you.
Slippy, Blood, and Carissa get into the elevator, and the elevator doors close. What do the two of you do?
Slippy rocks back and forth on the balls of his feet.
Shoot. I mean, Slippy, what are you doing?
And it is
No. BBW and Carl are doing the crowd searching. What are the two of you up to? Yeah. What
Oh,
are the
my bad.
No, that's okay. Usually it is BBW and
wait,
Slippy.
Yeah. I heard BBW.
Is there
got
like
excited.
I imagine there's like a balcony floor.
Mhm.
Like a second floor that kind of overlooks.
Yeah. That's a lot of the crowd is up there doing cocktailing. The elevator that they went into is underneath the stairs and goes up, and then the big
And
set
that's
of
where I saw the
stairs.
silver robot, I assume.
Yeah, you saw him on a balcony.
So you guys at least know I've pointed that out.
Are there catwalks?
No catwalks in here. There are some large chandeliers hanging down from the ceiling in the center sort of this, but mostly it's just these balconies viewing the room from this grand set of staircase on the opposing side of the room from the entrance.
All right, BBW, I'm gonna make my way up to the highest location I can get to. You're welcome to tag along because we are already split off from the main group, and it wouldn't be bad to stick together. But if you want to look through the crowd yourself, you're also welcome to do that because I don't think we're in immediate huge danger here. Live your
Sounds like
life.
a plan. I'll just keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, really the highest point you can get up to is just like on the same level as these balconies in this
I
area.
figured, yeah.
Yeah. So you two are peering through the crowds. Do you split up and go different ways around the U, or do you stay together and like peer through the crowd together?
Oh, I stay near
Yeah.
whatever the means of entry is. Like if it's a stairway up to that, I'd like to stay near the stairs so that I can kind of watch people, and as people move, I can keep an eye out for what we're specifically looking for, the silver robot,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
anyone else I recognize as a threat.
Okay. Yeah. I think the two of you are just sort of scoping out this room. The silver robot doesn't make themselves readily apparent, but you know that they're somewhere in this crowd. Up at the top of the elevator doors open. Cookie and Slippy, you are let out into the square room. It has 3 doors, 2 of which are open. The one to the right leads to a lounge area, large cushy seating. There's some tables and like bar stool style seating around these tables, more like a personal bar area. There is, in fact, a well-stocked bar in this area as well, and windows overlooking the city. In the door across from the elevator is the casino area. There is a smaller bar in here, still well stocked, just not as big and grand as the other bar in the lounge, but it is in here and well stocked. There are, as you enter, midnight bellhops all about here. They are moving in and out of the bar and the lounge area, prepping stuff, and Mr. Blood says out loud, "Yes, I would like if you start showing people up, whoever is able to play with Mr. Blood's prices." And he chuckles a little bit to himself, and Carissa says, "I can't wait to see you take all their money from them." And
Slippy starts to stretch his pat down fingers, which are the ones on his hands.
Mr. Blood looks at Cookie and says, "Now, I'd like if you wouldn't mind making me one of them Mr. Bloody Marys, and if we can just keep those things coming all night, that would be top tier."
By all means, I in fact have a pitcher prepared for you right now, Mr. Blood, sir.
You just pull it.
You just pull it.
You just pull it out of
You
your
just pull
pocket.
it out of your pocket. I am not going to disclose where I pulled it from.
Whoa.
A lady never tells.
Well, I haven't been burned by your Mr. Bloody Marys yet, so random one produced from thin air. Why would this one be any different than the other ones?
Carissa knows a thing or two about the feminine mystique. I'm sure she can enlighten you if enlightening is necessary. I will be in the I'll be at the bar.
Carissa, he looks at Carissa and says, "Well," and she chuckles and I don't know, hides her mouth shyly, playing the long game here, I guess. And they
just hides a cup of something somewhere on her person.
They go in to the gambling room bar, and they both sit at the bar, and one of the midnight bellhops attends to Carissa as Mr. Blood already has his pitcher. I think. Did you just hand the pitcher to Mr. Blood? What is your process here? There's midnight bellhops abound, so if what's the play there?
I'm sort of shooting a knowing glance to the bellhops, like I'll be serving this one.
I know your dad. I'll be serving this one.
I've got a set of glasses prepared with all sorts of nonsense in them, whatever it is that goes in Bloody Marys, and then I'm just gonna pour the red alcoholic beverage over that, and bring that to him whenever he wants.
Damn.
And Slippy's standing next to
I
the
can't eat
elevator
myself.
door with his arms crossed, looking toughish.
Looking to fish.
Yeah, he's trying to go fishing, but he doesn't have a pole, and so instead he's going to stand with his arms crossed.
It isn't but a few minutes, I think, actually, Carl and BBW, as a lot of this wealthier crowd up here having cocktail hours begins making their way towards the elevator area where you folks are. And
They're incoming?
yeah, I mean, it's, not much you can do about a crowd coming your way. They're
Mhm.
heading towards the elevator anyway, and they go up in groups of 10. Why don't one of you give discern realities and one of you give aid to see like what the like you guys are working together, you both have walkie-talkies, so like just kind of makes sense. Whoever can do whichever. To me, it would feel like Kaarl is discerning realities while BBW is aiding, because Kaarl's like right next to the elevator door.
Um, I gotta say by something. By reading this, what was it you wanted me to do again?
Aid roll with Kaarl. Aid him in searching this crowd while Kaarl is discerning realities on it.
Okay. Okay. Because I was just reading about maybe I could detect when the robot maybe approaches the elevator if he does, or if he never leaves at some point.
Oh, with your security spell?
I was saying it was my electromagnetic detection, but
Oh,
security
yeah. I
does
mean,
actually
you
have
could
it?
do electromagnetic detection again for sure. Yeah, security is more just like a trip alarm, I guess. Electromagnetic detection is much more of a. You could do electromagnetic detection, and Kaarl could do aid. I feel like that could be something as well.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Kaarl? Yeah. Okay. What's your It looks like you're muted, but what's your aid roll then?
My aid roll was 7.
Okay, +1, but you expose yourself to danger. BBW, what's your electromagnetic detection roll?
5.
Is that with +1 from Kaarl's aid?
No, that's a 6 then.
Okay.
that's my intelligence and the thing.
You do have, as a reminder, because in this case it would be helpful if you wanted to use it, a
Wait,
bolster, which gives you
bolster, you're right.
+1 if you want to use it here. That would turn it into a mediocre success.
True. Okay. Yeah. I say yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. What is the mediocre success for electromagnetic detection?
A 7 to 9, you can detect the presence of machines in their general direction, but not pinpoint their numbers or location. Would that mean I'd be able to detect their presence when it comes near-ish?
Here's what I'll give you. There are the two of you. I mean, there's a lot of folks going up and down this elevator. Some folks go up and then come back down because they were turned away at the door at the top. Not, I think, due to Slippy's thing, but Slippy, you're at the top of the elevator and there's a midnight bellhop up there also like checking everyone as they come in. Not, you're doing the physical checks. They're doing like wealth checks.
Oh.
So some people do come back down. They were turned away from gambling in this casino. They couldn't foot the minimum basically. And so there's lots of people coming in and out. I'll say at one point your electromagnetic detection is a little weird. It's going off a little strangely. It goes out fine, and then as you start receiving all of these signals, it starts to get a little staticky. And at some point it's staticking, and that signal is being picked up pretty heavily. You guys don't see this thing in the crowd. And then all of a sudden it starts to phase like out of your realm of sight and is just kind of gone.
Rutro, Raggy.
Rutro.
And BBW, Kaarl. Nope. Rethink that. Slippy, Cookie. You're at the top. People are coming in. Slippy, are you patting down everyone that comes in?
Every single person.
Patting them down. Is that you
Certain
think
realities probably.
Okay.
I'm discerning the realities of their pockets. Ooh. Hey, guess what? That's a snake eyes. I have no idea what's in your pockets. It could be anything. Do you have a quiche in there?
I think that so many people are coming up, and the Midnight Bellhop is able to check them instantly. That
I'm basically slapping them twice, once on the hips and then once on the jacket pockets, and then I'm sending them in.
And I mean, you send in lots of people. The Midnight Bellhop that the Midnight Bellhop approves, and some go back down the elevator. But and at no point do you like really recognize a silver robot that you have patted
I
down.
sure hope I would recognize if I was patting down a silver face robot.
That would make sense, right? That would track
But
pretty heavily.
I did a roll a natural one, so who knows?
You're distracted. There's a
Natural
lot of
2.
people in here. Cookie, I
Well,
will
yeah,
give
and
you a
Carissa's
chance
here.
if you
I'm
want
trying to look cool.
to make this next batch of bloody Mr. Bloody Mary's a like cook roll. If you want to spend some like extra focus and time on it. I would imagine that, you put more time into it versus just like slapping together the alcohol brought to you. I don't know, maybe.
Brought to you by the Grand Casino.
Now it doesn't get picked up on my thing. Right. Let's see. Um. All right, so before I make my cook roll, I have to dictate the 2 effects that I'm shooting for. I'm gonna go both staple effects. We're gonna go with comforting and aromatic. And what do those 2 do?
Feels good, smells good.
Comforting says anybody who eats this meal will feel more positively about you, even if they do not show it openly. We've used this effect quite a bit. Good, easy, staple effect. Aromatic, this meal smells exactly how you want, strongly. People nearby who can smell it will be driven to distraction. And Slippy, what have you told Cookie about your relationship with Clarissa?
That she's a conniving, evil, manipulative, monster of a person.
So
And
no,
also she's a sweetie pie if you catch her on the right day.
specifics, no specific memories of any sort, nothing to tie a smell back to at all.
A smell back to bowling alley food. I think I've said something about
she
a
really
bowling
hates
alley
the smell
date.
of frog.
This is my frog
in the
beverage.
morning, because Slippy's always shitting in the morning.
Mm.
Don't make it smell like that. The opposite of that.
Okay, I think Cookie knows approximately what a bowling alley smells like, and
Bowling alley food.
Gabe doesn't think
Don't make
that
it smell
smells
like
all
food.
that different from a Bloody Mary. Just a traditional Bloody Mary.
And here is a Bloody Mary.
So I think the aromatic portion is sort of a good times at the bowling alley kind of a smell. I don't know quite what that means, but you sort of understand the gist. I'm evoking memories of a fonder time with Slippy, specifically to fuck with Carissa. But I've rolled a 6. So that's experience for Cookie. That's a level up. But I roll a 6. Does it say specifically what happens when you fail? On a 6- something about the dish is off. It only conveys one of the chosen effects, your choice. However, it will also do something undesirable when it is eaten. GM's choice. You will not know what this is
His
until
head
somebody eats the
explodes.
meal.
You assassinated our own person.
Gabe the player wants it to be comforting as the one effect that happens, but I would say Cookie the character is going to go with aromatic. It doesn't matter how people feel about Cookie after the end of tonight. Our goal is to mess up whatever it is Carissa's got going on.
It is.
It is now.
Cookie makes this first Mr. Bloody Mary at the bar and attempts to infuse the bowling alley smell, pizza, I imagine, a bar, and maybe
Fear.
feet, into and fear.
French fry.
French fries, lots of fried foods, feet, and
A little fan to put your hand on.
exactly. There's a scent.
Chalk.
Yep. However, Mr. Blood and Chris are sitting at this bar, right? He finishes that first one handily and begins working on the second one. He gives it a sniff and he's like, "This one smells a little bit different than those last ones, but boy, does it taste the same." And Carissa,
But boy, does it taste the same.
I didn't realize what I said.
I love you, Mr. Blood. You hear from the other side of the room.
Favorite Yelp review.
Carissa Carissa looks at the drink and looks at Cookie and kind of squints her eyes and shrugs it off, and she says, "And I would like to try one of those Chris sours you had made for me back in the room, if you wouldn't mind." And as you're getting this request, a lot of the people coming in you see them behind Carissa going, sniffing into the air, and the first 10-15 people that walk into the casino do not go to the gambling tables. They come right over to this bar, and immediately the bar is swamped. There is a Midnight Bellhop attempting to provide service, but they are ordering the Mr. Bloody Mary. Every one of them is pointing. They're like, "I love this scent. I must try this. I've never smelled
Give
a
me the
drink
feet
of
drink.
this magnitude.
Give me the feet
I need
drink."
the feet beverage." And the bar is immediately swamped, and it's hard to see past all of these people here at the bar. There are a few Midnight Bellhops keeping Mr. Blood and Carissa separate from the crowd, but right on the other side of those Midnight Bellhops, in their 2 seats near the end of the bar, there is a crowd of people. The first 20 people that come in fill in the space between these I don't know, 10 other seats maybe, and are kind of swamping the bar. And the Midnight Bellhop is kind of looking at you and you get the idea that they're all ordering the Mr. Bloody Marys. Can you keep them coming?
What is Mr. Bloody Mary?
I mean, no, that's not my job. I'm not going to do that. The best I can do for you, Bellhop, we're gonna find out how substantial the Midnight Bellhops are. I'm gonna try and poke my antenna just right into him. I don't know. I've communed with the Mother Cradle, so we're just gonna see how it goes. I want to just kind of poke my antenna into this bellhop and try and just displace the recipe just right into his shadowy noggin. Maybe if I can just give it to him, he'll know how to do it, because serving the rest of these patrons is not at all it's not what I'm being paid to be here for.
That's a dead fact.
I don't care how good of a date we had. I'm not gonna do your job.
Give me. I think that might, I mean, you did have a date with his mom. I think that might be probably an easy connection for you. You touch and you feel that information immediately push into this midnight bellhop, almost as if it's completely open to it or you or something in this situation, and you
Nice.
feel it. You feel it go right in there, and immediately the midnight bellhop starts like throwing together a drink, and the smell of feet begins wafting out from behind the bar. And at some point, Carl BBW, there's just a line of people at the elevator, not allowed to come up anymore. There's a midnight bellhop there at the front of the elevator, just like standing, arms in front of their arms behind their back, just like waiting. And they're not like allowing any more people onto the elevator. You get the sense that it's kind of full, and there's about 50 people, aliens, humans, robots, all up here, just sort of consume, like using the tables, sitting in the lounge, or yeah.
It starts to smell like feet down here too.
Mm-hmm. The smell of foot wafts down the elevator shaft. But that's about it. What do the two of you want to do? You haven't spotted a robot, or the silver-faced robot.
It's really hard detecting here, but why are my smell sensors detecting people walking?
Well, there are a lot of people in here.
But all right, I suppose it's
I don't think I've ever been around this number of people on land before, honestly. So this seems normal. I sweat a lot.
Not entirely sure.
Are you two gonna stay posted up down here, just like watching over the entrance? I just want to be make sure before I move back on. I don't want it to seem like I'm focusing on
I mean-
upstairs and not like you two.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I figure we'll keep watch down here unless we hear something changes upwards through the comms
Okay.
We're
that
near
were
some
needed
seats,
there.
right?
Otherwise,
I'll start scavenging the seats for cameras or little items I can eat.
Okay.
Cigarette butts.
I mean, maybe give me a discern
Buttons.
realities, with the first question being, what is useful or valuable to me here? If that's what you
Okay.
want off of that. That feels like searching for stuff in seats.
True. What if I use my electromagnetic detection again?
You
Let's try.
can. So you can. I just Lawrence made a good point last episode, in which I asked him why he wasn't doing hunt and track again, and he said that that was because he was trying to use all the various parts of the kit and not the same move over and over again. I might encourage, if there's anything else you can do, just because you've done that like 3 turns in a row, which is fine. If there's
That's
nothing,
okay.
and I just might encourage, if there's anything else to tack on to a different move, get maybe different information out of it.
So if I were to use security, right? Am I able to rig that so it'd be like a specific entity I could see? So if it gets triggered, I know it was triggered by the robot or something. Is that something I could do?
I don't think so, because this is a level 1 spell, right? This is an alarm tripwire, right? I don't want to give it all of the utility of probably some of your later greater spells.
Yeah.
So probably not. That one's probably just like an alarm tripwire that you have situated. It still could be useful. There are some good doors that it could be used on. Obviously, there's a shitload of people here, so it'll be crossed a lot if you just throw it down right here on the ground. But maybe like some of the secret halls upstairs, not the secret halls, but like there's that the third door that wasn't open for all these people leads into a storage closet that has a secret hall back and into the gambling room. that might be a good place. If someone enters that room, there should be no reason that anyone is entering that room throughout this whole party. So that could be good. Something maybe like on his suite, his his like living, or where he'll be sleeping, because at any point, if anyone crosses in there, having it there could be helpful.
Okay.
Just some suggestions, I think, based on security. If you do it here, it will be pinged often. So maybe on a spot that you can't watch super well, the front door, the specific elevator door, especially now that it's blocked off, you should know everyone coming in. So if it gets pinged and it shouldn't be, maybe someone snuck onto the elevator. I don't know.
What? I like security. I guess let me set that up then. I'm gonna put it by. Can I set up multiple? Is that anything I could do? Nah, just one.
You could on like future uses of security if you want to have multiple places rigged. So where do you want to set
Okay.
this security up at?
Let me. I'll watch who comes in,
Like the
and we'll
front,
do it by the front door.
the front
Yeah.
door. Okay. So in order to enact security, you have to walk a quote unquote walk a perimeter, but I think that could just be walking a line back and forth between a front door, across the bridge of the front
Yeah.
door. Roll use machines, whatever your spell is. I think it's roll plus intelligence.
Got it. That's a solid 10.
Nice.
So,
I think you just do it on a 10.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, you have this line set up, and it is proven to you that it works in going off as a few people enter, and you hear this you feel this ping in your head twice as a couple enters. And you look away and you hear it once more as another, gentleman enters behind them. And they wander up into the bar, and they're just bypassers, but you know that it works.
Let me have that feet drink I keep hearing about.
And yeah, up in the private casino, Mr. Blood has gotten up and he has moved over to some gambling tables, and a lot of people kind of surround this table to just watch. Some of the tables are in use, and there's lots of wealthy gambling going on here, and the party is sort of in swing. Slippy, Cookie, what do you do?
As he gets up to go to the gambling table, Slippy will leave his post over by the elevator and go and stand behind Mr. Blood.
You do you want to give do you want to get more information about the crowd with discern realities or something along those lines, or you just want to post up? Because either is fine. I don't want to say you have to do a move.
For sure. No, I think the best one for here is probably to stick with I've got a bad feeling here for this time. Hopefully it won't roll. This one is a 9. So I'm gonna ask again. What else is hidden here? What is this crowd hiding from me? What kind of secrets do they have?
They're all robots.
You've taken up post behind Mr. Blood. Cookie, what are you doing while Slippy is doing this? Unless you want to wait for information, you're just standing behind the bar until I give this. That's totally fine. I just want to know where Cookie is and what she's up to.
Cookie is either remaining behind the bar, sort of casually eavesdropping on Mr. Blood and Carissa, or if there is a miniature kitchen nearby, maybe she's making some hors d'oeuvres, some pass around appetizer type things. But that's only if there's a kitchen available. If not, she's just hanging out.
Sure, there's a burner under this bar, a single burner, you know, and the little mini fridge for bits, and there's even a couple, you know, like bar hands, midnight bellhops that you get the sense that they, you know, they can bring you some hors d'oeuvre ingredients if you need, if you're willing to make, or you know, past apps for the party. There's a few of them doing past apps. They're okay. They're your basic past apps. Maybe a little better because he's put in a lot of money, but you know.
Basic Las Vegas hotel food.
Is there a specific past app that Cookie wants to make to impress the party?
Cookie didn't bring any of her own ingredients with her, so it would all sort of depend on what's on hand. But I think she wants to be more useful in this situation. Her level of usefulness in this situation is not high, and so she's looking for something to do. So if she has ingredients, she'll definitely whip something up. You know, with one burner, she's probably going to make maybe sliders. She's doing little mini bergs. I love it. Yeah, I think mini bergs are gonna be the thing, and I'll pick out some meal effects here in a moment. Yeah, sure.
As Cookie is rifling through the fridges and whatnot to see what she does have access to begin, as the midnight bellhops, you know, signify that they are on their way, we'll say, to grab the beef, right? You might have the rest of the ingredients down there in some form or fashion, but they definitely are going to grab their high-level beef in return. Slippy, you... As you enter into this room, you see Cookie bending down behind the bar, looking, you know, rifling through these fridges and such. You're walking over to Mr. Blood, and you, through the din and the hum of the wealthy people gambling, the dice hitting the table and cards slapping down, you swear you hear a click. I don't think that it's anything. There's not. It's the click of a latch clicking into place. And you're about halfway to the table to stand behind Mr. Blood when you hear this.
And I should know where the secret door is, right?
Yeah. Across the room, there's a bookshelf. Your eyes dart to there, and the bookshelf is secure in place. The other end of that secret hall leads out and into the storage room that is closed out there.
But what else would click?
It doesn't mean that it couldn't have been some of what, you know, that the storage room, something like that. You just entered into this room. In the din of sound, you're not sure if it came from, you know, in front of you in this room or behind you in the out room. You just have heard this like latch click. It's so quiet, so quiet.
I think I'm going to defend. I'm going to casually defend Mr. Blood. That's the role I'm going to take.
Okay.
It is my con. Okay, good. It's +1. An 8. So as long as I stand in defense, when you are the thing you are defending is attacked, I can spend 1 hold to choose a thing to have happen. So I'm just gonna go stand next to Mr. Blood. and be very alert for any more latches or violence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I love it. I love it. The party is going on. People are gambling and such. Mr. Blood is having a great run on his table. You hear lots of cheers. Slippy, you're staying there. You can see he's rolling. He's rolling all the things that he needs to roll for whatever game he's playing. The Texas Hold'em game. He's getting the full houses with the dice or whatnot. And he's crushing it on the table. The crowd is going wild. He's making quite a bit of money because the minimums are high. So when you win, you get a lot back. And it's going great. It's going fantastic.
Till.
All of a sudden, exactly, till. All of a sudden, I think two things happen kind of simultaneously. One, you're on point. Cookie, you're in the midst of flipping a burger. I think you're probably scanning, right? Are you heavy focused on your cooking? Or are you also, I don't know, on lookout or whatnot?
I think once I start cooking, I am zeroed in on the cooking process. I'm like focused on the burner or very focused on the thing, or I'm like, oh, there's another thing I can do with this, and I can change it this way, and I can do these different things with the ingredients. So no, Cookie's not paying attention to anything that's not food related right now.
I don't feel particularly useful in this situation, so I'm going to take my focus off of the situation entirely. It's perfect. It's perfect. I love it. Yes. So, two things happen simultaneously. There is a shout of protest from one corner of the room. One person stands up and shouts, "Hey, you can't do that!" And you hear another person kind of shout back, but their voice is, I don't know, lost in the din. A few people start getting a little louder right away. Like, what was that? What was that? And Slippy, you're on lookout, and you see the bookshelf begin opening up.
I pull my gun out and point at the bookshelf door.
You point it out, and I think the bookshelf opening up is enough to draw Cookie's attention probably up from the food for a brief moment. And you see the bookshelf opening up to Cookie.
I stare at it, agog. I don't know. What am I? I don't even have a gun.
I throw Cookie a gun.
You don't have a
You
pistol?
don't have a pistol? No, I have a hatchet. I have an axe and a wok, and I'm currently using my wok.
With one hand, I point a gun at the bookshelf, and with the other hand, I throw my other gun at Cookie.
I haphazardly fling the entire contents of my wok at the bookshelf. Oh.
And then catch the gun?
No. No, if you throw a gun to me, I guess I'll try and catch it, but otherwise I think Cookie's just gonna stare.
I'm gonna just maintain that.
Yeah.
I would love to throw a gun your way, though. That'd be hilarious.
OBS is being a bitch. Give me just a second. I'm gonna see if it gets through whatever hiccup it's having.
I shoot OBS.
Yeah, me too. Fucking for real. If this is my Windows 11, did it again. Did it again. Man, this is all such a, yeah, it's still doing it. Son of a bitch. Well, okay, it seems to have stopped. See how long that lasts before it starts finicking in. If it starts finicking again, I'll just stop streaming and get the recording set up, but maybe. It seemed to be good for a really long time, so. You two, Slippy, you draw your gun, pointed at the bookcase, ready in a defensive position. Cookie, you fling the contents of your wok at the bookcase and hold your wok up in a defensive position. Some small patties of beef go flying through the air and connect with the bookshelf and flop lazily on the ground as it opens up. As it opens up, it's empty behind it. And you folks only have a moment to react to nothing before you know the sound at this point because you've done it enough times. It's the sound of a plasma shot occurring across the room from the area of that shouting, basically in the opposite direction. Slippy, you, however, are not surprised by this because you can't be surprised.
And I am in current defensive posture, and so I use my one hold to redirect. Is the attack? Wait, can I tell where the plasma bolt is aiming for?
Yes, yeah. It's coming right at Mr. Blood.
Tracks. I redirect the attack from the thing to myself. I dive in front of the plasma bolt.
Nice.
It's very heroic.
It's very heroic. Very heroic indeed.
And as I'm diving, I'm going Cookie, and I flip my gun to Cookie. And then I take the plasma blast and go limp.
6 points of damage. If you have armor, yay.
I do have armor, yay.
Good job. How much armor do you have?
2.
2 armor, so 4 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm only very injured.
It collides with your chest and you feel it. You feel the shock ripple across your body. You're stunned for a moment when you hit the ground hard, your ears kind of ringing. In a moment, there is chaos. Cookie, a gun is flying towards the air at you. There are people screaming and running. Mr. Blood has ducked down, and Carissa is next to him, her arm over him as they begin. They actually begin moving. Immediately, they face their body towards the open bookshelf and begin walking in that direction.
Bookshelf should be covered by a banner.
Plasma just came out of the bookshelf.
It's like a
No. The plasma didn't come out of the bookshelf.
No?
It should.
Oh, it came out. From
Maybe
the
a
other
banner.
way.
I like because you guys did set up a banner, but the bookshelf opening may have torn the banner down just like
Very
off.
possible.
Such is life.
Yeah, but
I
the
remember
bookshelf.
I wanted to set. I specified that the banner was across the bookshelf when we initially went in and set it up, just because I was planning on hiding in that room, and I thought it would be funny if I couldn't get the bookshelf open to come help people.
That is
So
good.
that's why I remember specifying.
Yeah. No, I do like that specification, but now that I think about it, I don't think that a party banner would be able to stop a stop a door from opening. So it does. It tears the banner kind of right down, but so on one end of the room was the bookshelf, on the opposite end of the room from the door, and the gunshot actually came from a table in a corner near the door. The bookshelf just happened to open at the same time.
You said that there was a gun flying at me, right?
Yeah, Slippy threw his gun.
Yeah, Slippy's on the ground. He's like, catch the gun.
All right. Well, then I suppose I'm going to make a dexterity roll to try and catch this gun. Just sort of a heads up, though. My dexterity is a -1.
Defy danger. Okay.
I've been shot.
I get no bonuses for it being a defy danger roll, so. Well, it would have been a 7, but I have a -1. So that's a 6. That's a 6 on catching the gun. That's
It
another
shoots you.
experience point for Cookie. And other than that, I think that means that Cookie is unable to respond to this situation in a way that would be helpful.
You're gonna be a very high level corpse.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a super high level corpse. I'm upset that I didn't get to pass around my sliders. They were gonna be great. But I can't even vent my frustration on an enemy because I rolled a 6, so I am weaponless and possibly injured.
The other pair hear this because Cookie's walkie-talkie is taped underneath the table, the gambling table.
It's true. You hear the gunshot go off. You hear the crowd starting to
You hear
yell. You hear
Slippy
Cookie
say
is.
Cookie.
You hear Cookie. I think you can hear Slippy most readily because it's probably the table, right? And Slippy's like moaning on the ground. Cookie, catch the gun! And you guys can hear that. You know everything is sort of occurring. This gun slides through the air and smashes into the alcohol in the back of the bar, and Cookie's fumbling for it through all of the glass, trying to get this gun out of the alcohol.
The Zoom was so good on your
We
fucking...
get in the elevator.
Oh man. Carl, BBW, what do you do having heard this
In the
mess begin to
elevator.
occur? You're in the elevator?
Yeah.
Go.
Empties out right in front of that room. It seems like the fastest, most efficient way to get there.
It's not long before you're up the elevator and out into this room. You come out of the elevator into this square room with those 3 doors, one that leads to the lounge, one that leads to the casino, and one that leads into the storage room, all 3 of which are open.
I'm gonna go into the storage room.
You enter into the storage room and immediately you are put on high alert as the secret door is open in this room.
Oh. I know it's supposed to be like that.
I mean, I just want to look around and see people, but perception's not a thing in this. Do I just discern realities?
Yeah, exactly. Discern realities.
Okay.
The chaos is big. You had to get up in the elevator in between loads of people coming down because, like we said, this is the elevator is the only way down. So people have to come down in loads of one elevator load at a time.
I got a 7. So
And I rolled an 8.
You can, but a 7, even if aided, gets an
Yeah.
8 is
Yeah.
nothing bonus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They would have to when you want to aid is at like a 5 or at a 9, or sorry, a 6 or a
Ooh.
9, because then it can pop it up to a new thing.
Oh, nice.
So you got a 7. What's your question?
what here is not what it appears to be?
The 2 of you enter into this room. Your focus is drawn to the door that is open into this storage room that should be closed, certainly. You feel the need to dive right into that secret tunnel and check it out, but you take a moment and stop and scan the room, and you see a flash of silver hiding behind some panels, just like it looks like you see a flash of silver hiding behind a shelf that has the most boxes on it. You can only see this little glimmer of silver through it. But you know right away that's the kind of silver that was the robot. So it's hiding behind a shelf, like right over there on the other side of the room.
Oh my.
Do we?
What BBW? What do you do? Carl has found this person.
I just shoot things. I don't want to necessarily damage it if we need it alive.
It's never
I
been
mean-
alive. So kill it.
I don't think it notices you guys having noticed it. but you do notice it hiding there.
I don't have anything I can cast or anything, but I'm gonna like kind of crawl over and try to take a little peek at him.
As you begin to approach you step into the room and begin to cross it, approaching the silver glimmer, and the shelf comes. At first, you hear a little creak, and you look up and you see the shelf beginning to fall down atop you. Give me a
Oh,
defy danger. It probably is strength or constitution here, because there's not a lot of. You could try dexterity, but if it's a dexterity, I'm going to give it a -1 because there's just you can't. Not a lot of
Carl
places
is in
to.
the hall with gun ready, so
Okay. But
even if you die here, you will be avenged.
fair. I guess I'll do strength since like it's a 0, but I got a 10 to defy danger.
Oh, great. The shelf comes
Yeah.
tumbling down atop you, and you plant your 2 feet, your 2 bottom feet into the ground, and you come back and you bring your arms up and are able to just stop it. This thing weighs nothing in comparison to the server wall
Back
you
the
had to
other way.
lift. And
If
One
they
where I
thought it
lost
was
my
heavy
leg.
enough to stun you, then it's heavy enough to stun them.
that's true. Do you want to shove it back at him, or do you want to just hold it here and let Carl take the shot?
Let's shove back at him.
All right, I like that. I don't think that you need to make a roll because you've already made this beautiful success. You shove
Yeah.
the heavy. There's a few boxes that came tumbling down. None of them quite hit you, but you shove the heavy shelving unit back up over, and it careens down atop this robot, and you hear a crunch beneath it. There's a moment, and then the whole thing kind of shifts down just a little bit, and the silver robot comes rolling out to the side. It is quick. It is quick to act. It is not like I feel like if this happened to a human, at least that's probably most of my comparisons. We would be stunned, right? We would be like trying to figure out what the room looks like still. But this thing is immediately drawing a pistol out, and it shoots one shot across the top of this now laying down shelf at BBW. Or I'll say at Carl, because BBW just made a roll to defy that danger.
Okay.
It shoots right past BBW at Carl. What do you do, Carl?
I suppose I'm going to try to dodge with defy danger dexterity.
Okay.
Something's flying at me. That is an 11.
Easily skate out of the way. I don't even think you need to dive to the side. You just sort of, you're right next to the door, so you can, yeah, exactly. You can use the door as like a good block and sort of wiggle behind the door, and the shot cascades out. Unfortunately, there's a crowded area out here, so it does hit a person, and the crowd goes wild. They begin
Fuck 'em.
running all sorts of directions, none of
Long
which
as it wasn't
into
And the
this
Mr. Blood,
crowd goes
Not my
wild.
problem.
most of which they run into the lounge, or they huddle up against the elevator door now, which starts groaning as people are like pushing up against this elevator door.
Oh, it's intense.
Back in the room, Slippy on the ground, Cookie having managed to pick up the gun. There's people running all about in here, but as the two of you regain your senses of some kind, you don't see where this bullet came from, or you know where it came from, but you don't see like a shooter. And Mr. Blood and Carissa are down and huddled, but like slowly huddling their way towards the open bookshelf.
Slippy is going to get up, and he is going to try and aid their defy danger roll, Carissa and Mr. Blood. You're muted, but do AI roll. Can
If-
I help AI roll?
It feels like, I know that you have just done this, but it feels like a defend roll to me, because then you can like use that as a
That makes
response
sense.
to an action.
I'll do that again.
I know that I've just straight up shied BBW away from doing the same thing, but
It is a
it
7,
truly
so
does.
I have the same thing again.
okay,
Hold one.
hold one. Cookie?
What is a defend roll? Can I also do that? Is that a thing I can do? What's
It's a
the stat
basic
for
roll.
that?
Constitution.
Constitution.
Read that to us if you have that.
When you stand when you stand in defense of a person, item, or location under attack, roll plus Constitution. On a 10 plus, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. As long as you stand in defense, when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend 1 hold. Choose an option. Redirect an attack from the thing you're defending to yourself. Halve the attack's effect or damage. Open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally +1 forward to the attacker. Deal damage to the attacker equal to your level.
I rolled a 7, so I guess I also hold 1 in
Great.
that respect. I don't know if I choose the option that I'm going with now, or
I think
Not-
you choose whenever it happens.
all right. Well, then I'll choose when it happens.
In the meantime, pull up the list so that if one triggers, you're like, ooh, that's the one I want to use. It would be good to know fully. But both of you have hold 1 as Mr. Blood is making his way hobbled. I fucking caught you this time, OBS, you piece of shit. All right. If you folks are enjoying the live stream, I apologize, but it's being skippy and we want to catch all of this stuff. So by next week, we'll have this all fixed out and we'll catch you up on what happened next week. But unfortunately, we're going to have to stop the stream here so that I can actually record the rest of our session. Thank you folks for joining, and we will see